and welcome to Science Fiction, Race, and Racism, video blogging channel about the most famous and influential works in science fiction and how they deal with issues of race, ethnicity, racism, prejudice, and intolerance. Both the best and the worst, the most groundbreaking and insightful, and the most callous and clueless. My name is Carroll. I'm Associate Professor of History at Northern Virginia Community College. I teach American, American Indian, and Latin American history. I've written mostly about wars, veterans, human rights, and genocide. I've also written some science fiction, mostly alternate history, including a sci-fi alternate history book, The Man in Black, the first of a series. I should qualify some of what I usually say about this series for this video. We've focused on the most influential works. This is not one of those. This is only the most recent big sci-fi film. It's unlikely to influence many people, or even have a sequel. It's much more of an action film than a sci-fi film. And that doesn't mean sci-fi can't be good action films, or vice versa. The Terminator series and the Alien series are among the best of both. The Tomorrow War is not great sci-fi. It's filled with huge gaps in the plot. It is entertaining as an action film. If you're watching this, you likely have already seen it, so this is not a spoiler. Soldiers from the future go back in time to warn of alien invasion, that humanity is close to being wiped out. They ask for humans to travel to the future to help fight the aliens. So many die in this imagined war with aliens. The film claims humanity has declined to just 500 million. That would mean over 6 billion humans were sent into the future. These numbers are beyond crazy, and it means time travel has become easy on a mass scale. This begs the question, why not use time travel to send the aliens far into the future, or very far into the past when the Earth was still molten? Later in the film, a commander discusses how the aliens were hidden in Russia. Then, quote, they attacked Asia and Africa first. In other words, most of the world's population was wiped out before humans had time to react. Over half of humanity is in Asia. Africa adds to that more than another billion people. If you've seen any of these videos before, you know one of my most common criticisms is that so many sci-fi films, especially American Hollywood ones, show an almost all-white future. Older sci-fi films, it's not too surprising that they did so. But so do many recent ones, like the Battlestar Galactica and Alien series. Tomorrow War does the same. It's a good example of Hollywood's idea of not just diversity, but realism in a sci-fi future. For them, just add a few black people, and supposedly that's good enough to show the diversity. This criticism has been made not by scholars or analysts and critics, but by sci-fi fans themselves. One of the most best-known examples of trying to explain the almost all-white future was by Star Trek fans. Star Trek, the series, all of the series and all of the films, show many East Asians, especially Japanese, but surprisingly, Star Trek has almost no South Asians or Arabs in it. So, Star Trek fans constructed a timeline based on a few mentions in the original series and the second Star Trek film. Khan Noonien Singh was the most powerful leader during the Eugenics War. The World War he started and his rule resulted in much of Asia and Africa being wiped out. Most of Star Trek's Africans and many of its East Asians are actually depicted as coming from the United States in Star Trek. This is what the Tomorrow War does also. It also explains why that its black and other non-white soldiers all speak English with American accents. There are no Africans in the Tomorrow War, no black Latin Americans, and no one from the Caribbean. But the good news is, this time the storyline of explanation didn't come from fans. It's in the script from the writer, Zach Dean. And what does Dean write? Mostly, though, not sci-fi. Almost all action films from him. Meaning any hope for more realistic and no more almost all-white futures have yet to come from sci-fi. Hopefully, they learn from his example. This is the end of the 17th video. Please repost freely, like, share, and comment. This has been Science Fiction, Race, and Racism video blogging channel. Look for alternate history series Latin American Victory and an earlier series What If Natives Won, and other possible future series.